When you make a mistake, you own up to it, and you correct it, and you learn from it. But I made a big mistake my first 2 weeks while I was the USU ambassador. So those 2 weeks are called the high-level week at the United Nations. And that's when all the world leaders come in to meet with the president. Had included me in every single meeting with almost every world leader that came into the United States. So the way that this happens when you're in a meeting with a world leader, so the world leader will sit on my left, the president sits on the right, and then unless the vice president is with him, I'm always seated next to the president. And then the Secretary of State, so there's protocol. And I was just so excited because I had my name there. I was like really excited. So embarrassed. So the President of the United States, of course, Donald Trump, these people are so nervous, these heads of state, they're kings, heads of state, prime ministers, presidents, you name it, they've all got a title. But they are so nervous that they're meeting with Donald Trump. Not much less President Donald Trump, but Donald Trump. So we were sitting and we were meeting with the president of Egypt, and we just met with the Pakistani leader. And he was complaining about this water and all this, and then in comes the president of Egypt, and he starts using, he says, I'm very concerned about the GERD. And I'm going, the GERD. The GERD, I thought it was like a fighter jet or something, but it turns out that it's a dam. It's the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. I actually thought, because previous to that, Turkey had been in, and Erdogan was talking to us about the F-35 fighter jet, so I thought, well, there's another country asking for a jet, right? So I can look at the president, and he looks over at Sisi, and he said, look, you're the bigger country here. You're like the stronger guy. Can't you figure it out? And then he looks over at me, and he says, the ambassador here, she'll take care of that for you tomorrow. Well, I thought, okay, I had no idea. So the whole time I'm thinking it's a fighter jet. I'm thinking, well, surely I can get Treasury or somebody to release a couple fighter jets and I can get those over there. Well, it wasn't. It was about the dam. So I could tell that no one else knew, but they were so thrilled that because I was seated to the president's left hand, that, I'm the one who got it. So I want to tell you, I went back to my chief of staff. I studied, I know every dimension of that dam. I know Sudan's issues with that dam. And do you know that Al-Sisi, he reached out that next day. But I've been up all night long because I knew all about that dam. That dark dam. So I want you all to know that they're still having issues with the dam. It is still a really big issue, and they have confused so many people now that they are referring to it as the dam. So my successor doesn't have to worry about understanding what the GERD is. And it got to be where with every meeting, since all the other cabinet members saw what was happening, nobody wanted to sit next to the president. So I would move my placard down, and I would, like be really nice, and I would say to the Secretary of Treasury, don't you want to sit up next to the president on this meeting? But, they expected me to be there, and I was there for every meeting, and you better bet that I did my homework every single night, regardless of, sometimes I didn't sleep, because I wanted to know. You had like you had some topics that we thought the other leaders would want to talk to the president, but I'm telling you, when these heads of state come in, our president was the psychiatrist in chief, the commander in chief. He had to, tell people just to get over it. It's nothing but jealousy. Or he would look over at me, or he would look over at you. Pretty soon you knew that you were just going to have a list of things that you were going to have to solve as a world crisis. So I learned from that big mistake, and it never happened again. So just always, study hard before you get into something like that. Good question. Thank you.